everybody. Welcome back. How are you? How's your Saturday going? I hope whatever you're doing, you're having a wonderful time and enjoying yourself on this wonderful weekend. So, it would seem that Chantal, uh, she did the morning live this morning, which didn't go on for very long. It went on for less than 15 minutes. She cut off the live and said that she had to go to the bathroom, but she never returned from the quote unquote bathroom. And just a few minutes ago, she posted a video. You know what, Chantal? You know what I love about you? I love the fact that you tell on yourself. I really love that. I love the fact that you tell on yourself. You talk about the reaction channels and girl world, and we're all a bunch of detectives and we're coming up with our conspiracy theories, allegedly conspiracy, whatever. And we're making up stuff. But you know what? Half the time, we don't have to find things out. Given a little time, you'll tell us on your own. So you did your live this morning. You were in an undisclosed location, as always. Then you said you had to go to the bathroom, never came back, just putting out that video. And you're driving around and you revealed in the video that honestly, you're not that busy. In the live this morning, you said, oh, I'm so busy. I've got so much to do, blah, blah, blah. And then in the video, which I'm about to react to, there's really nothing going on in your day. According to you, you were just waiting on a virtual therapy session of sorts. And that's the extent of your busy day. It doesn't really sound busy to me. It sounds like a very relaxing, casual Saturday. Even then, I doubt your therapy session. I really do. I doubt it. You're probably lying about it. Absolutely. I'm going to say it again. I think it's close to payday. I think because it's close to payday, that Natter and Dee are keeping you close because they want to be around when you get paid. They want you there. So if you want to buy some party favors, you can do it from Natter and he can make some extra chump change. You can buy Natter some groceries. He wants his share of the pie. You know, I heard something today, Chantal. He's probably told you this, and maybe you might have heard it somewhere too, that Natter and Dee record everything. They do. They record everything. So if you're spending time with the two of them, you might be getting recorded. They did say that they were working on a docu-series of sorts or something. I'd be worried if I were you. You know, like Natter's doing the same dirty stuff that you're doing. You like to hold leverage over other people's heads. Well, it sounds like it's getting done to you. Maybe that's why you keep buying the groceries. Maybe that's why you keep giving the money, because if you don't, certain things might come out in the open and you don't want them out in the open because those things will blow apart this image of yourself that you're trying so desperately to sell to all of us. You should let that image go. It's not who you are. Anywho, so there's a few things on Twitter that I want to show you guys, and then we're going to get into the video. And I already know I'm going to be using a lot of bad language. There's certain things of her video that absolutely ticked me off. And I hate the fact that YouTube treats us all like we're toddlers and wants us to not use the naughty words. Well, guess what, YouTube? Fuck you. I'm an adult, and I'm going to use some adult words today. You're over there being a bunch of hypocrites. You have these rules that we're supposed to follow, these terms of service. And I guess they're all for being on paper and for the advertisers to make them feel comfortable about putting their ads on your videos. When it comes right down to it, when you see people that are rule breakers, you turn your head because you want to continue making the money off of them. You got someone like Chantal. She's got an issue with food. You said no doing content that glorifies eating disorders, yet you allow her to do content on your platform. Why? Why? Please explain. I mean, you're the boss. I'm just kind of like an employee of sorts. I have my channel here, but I really want to understand what's going on here. How you can have a set of rules and you insist that all YouTubers follow them, and then you turn around and I guess certain YouTubers don't have to follow them. Is it a matter of it's not you, it's who you know? You know, like anybody has powerful influence. Anyway, so Chantal is on video and she's talking about her binge eating disorder, and I'm just going to go off about that. You guys okay with that? If I just have an adult moment for a moment, I don't watch my language. I don't use code words. Yeah, screw a bunch of that. We're going to do the adult thing today. I'm 53. I'm not 5, YouTube. Let me be an older person with dirty words. Anyway, let's get into the Twitter stuff. Okay. Oh, I forgot to do it. Hold on. Cancel. Okay, here we go. Okay, now we can do the screen sharing. I kind of forgot about that I made that. All right. We're not going to stay here very long. Just a few things. Okay. Blanky Country Walker, because I can't say the first part of it. The capillaries are broken. This is talking about Chantal in her face. The texture is off because, well, she's filthy. New skin has grown on top of dead skin. Ew. Menopause slowed down her cellular turnover. This makes the skin appear dull. Also, she's filthy. Yeah, you know what? I never understood that about Chantal, that she'll sit there and spend hundreds of dollars on Lush products, and yet she won't buy a $2 bar of soap and just wash herself. Like, if you're going to put on makeup or beauty products of any kind on your body, it helps that the skin is clean first. And you just need a bar of soap or some liquid soap or something to make that happen. So if you're going to invest $300 in Lush products, why not wash yourself? It goes a long way. Oh, and by the way, Chantal, something to think about. Your skin reflects your inner health. If your body is healthy, your skin will look healthy. It might have a glow to it. It'll be nice and soft and supple. If you've got bad internal health, your skin will reflect that also. You're not eating healthy. You're not getting proper sleep. You're not drinking enough water. Your diet is high in sugar and fats and oils and salt. Your skin will reflect all of that. So if you want to look better and feel better, you got to fix what's going on with the food you eat. Lytton, is it Nephalem? Says, found this, thought some of you would appreciate it because she has never mocked any of your looks. I changed my name when everyone and their mother was Stony something. So this person says, talking about Chantal, why don't you care that you have deformed your appearance? Chantal says, because looks don't matter. Stony Karma, Lytton says, foodie beauty, yeah, but your personality sucks. What happened? I preferred the mask. Didn't see Duper's Delight as much. Yes, it's that obvious. You're over here doing the Lord's work, Lytton. You're just getting down to brass tacks and calling her out. Yeah, when Chantal had her mask on, she hid the Duper's Delight. Now she doesn't care. She'll smirk right in the camera, knowing that everybody knows what that means. Okay, this is cool from Nature is Amazing, saying, what would you do if you had a gang of elk chilling in your front yard? Where is this? Where is it? Sorry, I had to move the microphone. I forgot that it was off to the side. My bad. Can you imagine coming home and seeing the elk just everywhere? That's crazy. You know, I actually feel bad seeing the elk like that. because that usually points in the direction that their natural habitat nearby is not big enough. Like you got to know, for a wild animal to come to an area where there are humans, there must be something going on with that. I hope that wherever they normally are, that it's a big enough area that they don't have to come into neighborhoods and all that just to find a spot of safety. Nature is amazing. When they hug you, it won't let go. Aw, a manatee. No, manatees are protected by federal law. No petting, touching, or hugging. I grew up in Florida, and there were manatees everywhere, especially around the power plant. They really like the warm water. But manatees are the cows of the sea. They're so peaceful and they're so chill. What a wonderful experience to be a diver. And a manatee's like, I just want to love you. But then again, what do you do as a diver if you're not allowed to touch them? How do you get away from a manatee if they're literally hugging on you like that? Well, it's a wonderful experience regardless, but that manatee is so chill. Look at him. Look. What a wonderful thing to happen to you. Okay. So, told you the Twitter stuff was going to be brief. Let's go on to her video. And like I said, Chantal, I love the fact that in the live today, you gave off the impression like you were super busy. There was so much you had to do. And then you put out this video the same day where clearly you have nothing to do except wait around for an alleged session on Zoom, which is nothing. But in the meantime, you're running around Canada getting cheese curds, driving out to a farm or whatever to get cheese curds. Anyway, you know what? I'm so aggravated. Can you tell I'm aggravated? Not at y'all, her. Let's just do this. I'm going to curse her all the way out.
The link in the description and get your cameo today. Can't wait to hear from you.
Well, hello, guys. I won't be making very much eye contact because I'm driving, but I am going to introduce this episode of my channel video by saying I am en route to taking a nice drive, and so since I'm taking a nice drive in the countryside areas, I thought I would stop at St. Albert, Ontario, because you guys know I love St. Albert's, but I haven't eaten anything today yet, so I'm looking for something for lunch.
Canada is huge, and I mean huge. And there's so much to do. There's so many things she could show us. So she's driving to this location, and she just has to make a beeline for a place that sells cheese curds. She also just mentioned the fact that she's not eaten all day. That's key that she said that. She is someone that she is fixated on food. She is a food addict. She's a food junkie. She even said herself back in Kuwait, I have to eat every 2 hours. Now she's back in Canada, and we're hearing more and more of this thing of I haven't eaten all day. Oh, really? What's keeping you away from the food, Chantal? It's not that you're in rehab. It's not because you're in recovery. It's not because you're going to proper therapy or inpatient to give you different coping mechanisms and coping skills. That can't be it. So what is it? Well, I'm going back to your history in my head. I'm going back through that Rolodex of information. The only time I've ever known for you to stay away from food is that you were on the powder, and a lot of it. For a problem like yours that's just that bad, you need something equally as powerful to stave off your cravings, to keep that hunger down. That's how you lost weight the last time. You were heavily on the powder. The powder gave you energy to be up, and get things done, because without it, you have no energy. You might get energy from healthy food, but since you don't want to eat the healthy food and take care of yourself, you have to rely on outside artificial means to give you energy. And by the way, question, if you're doing that, where's that money coming from? It's not payday yet. You're over there crying broke and saying, oh, I'm so broke. I'm so incredibly broke. You guys, I got to find a place to move into. Send anything. Anything is fine. At the same time, you're over there getting takeout every other day, and you're still doing mukbangs with huge meals every other day. Where's that money coming from? Is it your feeders? Yeah, I think so. I really, really think so. Everyone that I ever met that ever had a hard moment and was close to broke or broke could go out to dinner and spend $20 on a main dish and maybe another $20 on a side dish. Or could buy a sandwich the size of Texas. That sandwich you ate yesterday, I recognize that bread. That's Texas toast. Texas toast is 2 to 3 times thicker than normal bread. It was ridiculous. But broke people don't eat like that. But only you, living in Canada, would take a drive, and you're not seeing anything scenic that has nothing to do with food. It's all food related. Can you make it any more obvious that you're catering to the feeders, Chantal? Because in every video, you have to include food somewhere, either eating it, talking about it, reminiscing about it. Listen, just go to OnlyFans and do this shit. Take your obsession to OnlyFans where we don't have to look at it. This is crazy.
I skipped breakfast, although I did wake up at like about 9 a.m. So it is 12:30, and it's a Saturday.
You know what? She just said she hasn't eaten all day. Now, if she were telling the truth, she would be ravenous. She'd be like a wild animal. Like, I haven't eaten all day. I'm starving. I got to find something to eat right now. She's not doing that. Why do you think she's not doing that? Because she's lying. She had something to eat. But she's going to tell us all, I haven't had anything to eat. Liar. Who are you talking to? You had something to eat. Maybe something small, maybe something big, but you ate something. Your stomach's not completely empty. I don't hear your stomach growling.
So it's going to be busy wherever I go. People out enjoying the nice day, although it looks like it might rain. It's been raining nonstop here almost. I mean, it's been raining a lot anyways, compared to the amount of nice days I've been seeing. So that kind of sucks. But I'm making the best of it, you know?
No, you're not. You're out and about. You're riding around, going nowhere, doing fuck all. You're driving to a remote location that you really don't have to go to eat something you really shouldn't be eating. Given your health conditions, you shouldn't be alone anywhere. Because if something happens to you, who's going to know and who's going to help you, Chantal? For real.
Yeah, I have a doctor's appointment today. It's like a virtual appointment, and they will call me between the times of, I think, 1 and 9. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a bunch of...
Wait, what? Stop. So you have a virtual doctor's appointment, and they gave you like an 8-hour window of when they'll contact you? Why does that not sound right? You know, usually when you have appointments with people, they give you like a much smaller window. What she's talking about sounds like Amazon deliveries. You know, like if you get an Amazon delivery, they might give you like an 8-hour window of when they're going to show up with your package. But I've never heard of like Zoom meetings. They give you like an 8-hour window of like, you got to sit by the phone literally all day or sit by your messenger literally all day for this meeting. This sounds so phony.
Of like virtual doctors or nurse practitioners you can see, and they call you on the phone or video.
What can doctors do for her remotely? Given the severity of her health, all of her many health conditions, what could they do for her remotely? They can't give her blood tests. They can't check her blood pressure, her blood sugar. They can't do all the important stuff that needs to be done. So I don't know how effective that would be for her.
And you just give them your like health card number and information and stuff like that. And
that part kind of threw me. Look, I'm not a Canadian. I don't know how things are handled there. But how could she have a health card if she doesn't really have health insurance? Am I getting it wrong? Y'all correct me in the comments if you guys know something I don't know. But I just don't understand how she could have a health card if she's been away from Canada for so long and her insurance or coverage has lapsed. I've also heard that it takes a while to get that back once you reapply. So how could she have a health card if she's been gone a while and she literally just got back?
Yeah, that's how it works. So, but other than that, my job today is just to enjoy the day and try not to overdo it.
That's not what you said this morning. Excuse me. Pardon me. That's not what you said this morning. You did a live this morning that I reacted to, and you said, I am so busy. I've got so much to do. I love how you tell on yourself. You tell so many lies that you forget the lies that you tell. You're not a good liar. You're always busting on yourself, Chantal. You dry snitch on yourself. You said this morning, I am so busy. I've got so much to do. Now you're saying I really don't have much to do except drive around and go eat some cheese curds and wait around for an imaginary meeting on Zoom.
Not to binge eat. Because for those of you who don't really understand binge eating, you might not realize how much of my life and of my day, of my time is spent obsessing over food or...
You know what, Chantal? As someone that I've dealt with BED, please fuck right off. Seriously, fuck right off. Right away. As soon as possible. Can you do that for me? Not just as a reactor to you or a person, but as someone I've dealt with BED. And I find it personally disgusting that you play every single angle to what's wrong with you, whatever is wrong. You look for any and every angle to make money with what's wrong with you, and there's a lot wrong. Do you know how sick it fucking makes me to hear you talk about binge eating disorder? You're like, oh, you guys don't understand the struggle. You're not struggling, though. You took what was wrong with you and you gave it a job. You gave your addiction a job. You put it to work. You put it on the clock. Put it as part of the payroll. You said, I'm going to take this thing that has consumed my life and I'm going to make it profitable. I'm going to let it go unchecked. And I'm also going to find people on the internet that they support this addiction and they enable this addiction. And they send me money through PayPal and they send me money through my YouTube channel. And they get in my hug box and they talk about food with me. and they trigger the shit out of me. I'm going to surround myself with enablers and funders to my addiction. And I'm so fucking delusional that I'm going to think, oh, they're really my friends. They really care about me. No, they really fucking don't. They really don't. Because they see how sick you are. And they encourage it. Some of them encourage it. Some really don't want anything bad to happen to you, but there are lots that do. But you don't care. You don't care if you got people around you enabling your addiction, funding your addiction, triggering your addiction. You don't give a shit. I mean, why would you? You get on YouTube and you deliberately trigger other people. You'll put tags on your videos talking about binge eating disorder recovery when you're not in recovery. You put those tags on your video to attract people that have BED. I don't know why you'd want to do that. I don't know why you want to fuck with other people's recovery, with their journeys and trying to be healthy, but you do. I don't know why you go out of your way to trigger people that they're struggling with a food problem and making them have a relapse of some sort or get worse. But that's how twisted and evil you are. You don't care about your problem. So don't come at me or anybody else and say, oh, you guys don't know the struggle. You're not struggling. You're not fighting against it. You're leaning into it. Every single time you come on camera and you do a mukbang, you are making a choice. You're choosing to be unhealthy. You're choosing to be sick. You're choosing to let the addiction have the job and use it to get paid and to pay your bills. You're making that choice. And because you're making that choice, I don't feel fucking sorry for you. I don't. I really, really don't. You're taking addiction and you're turning it inside out. Doing the exact opposite of what you need to do. So don't sit there and cry to me about, oh, BED. Shut up. Shut up. Don't talk to me. I've been through that hell. And I think it's horrible that you deliberately trigger people on YouTube. You should take this shit to OnlyFans or Patreon or something where only those who want to see it, can see it, will see it. The fetish content that you're doing has no business being on YouTube, ma'am. It just doesn't. You over here crying about, oh, my BED, you guys don't understand the struggle. Hey, you don't respect the struggle of other people enough to put it in a private location. So I don't respect your fake ass phony struggle.
Obsessed with food. So I'm trying to every single day, not let that win or take over. So basically that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, you know what? Little funny irony that I want to throw in here. Y'all take a look at the title of her video. The title of her video is called Buying Fresh Cheese and Health Talk Canada Vlog. Oh my God. Are you serious? So health talk plus fresh cheese? You want to buy some fresh cheese, and cheese is basically all fat, especially a whole bag of fresh cheese. You're sitting there eating cheese curds like they're potato chips, and you also want to talk about your health too. Well, you know what, Chantal? I think that you buying a whole bag of cheese curds and you want to talk about your health, you sitting there eating cheese curds like potato chips, that pretty much tells everybody how you feel about your health and how much respect you have for your health and how much you want to get healthy. Anybody wants to know if Chantal wants to get healthy, hey, in this video, she's going to sit there and eat cheese curds like potato chips. Hey, what else do you need to see beyond that?
I'm, trying some new methods that I can talk about in another video. Of course, I want to try these things.
I'm so sick of this shit too. I've been watching Chantal for years. And she has her cycles, okay? I'm sure we're all familiar with the Chantal cycle. Although at this point we can call it a Chantal circle because she literally goes in circles. Like I said earlier, when it comes to what's wrong with her, she plays every single angle. Like she wants to get sympathy from people talking about her BED. And then she'll make money with that and get sympathy from that. And then she turns around and she does the mukbangs, catering to the feeders, makes money off of that. Like this woman has, her well of shame has no bottom. She will use anything, any topic, any angle to make money. So before she talked about BED for a while, wouldn't shut up about it. Then she'll flip over and do the mukbangs. Then we're back to talking about the BED. Then we'll do the mukbangs again. Pick a lane, Chantal. Stop it. You don't care about your binge eating disorder. You don't care. If you care, you go to inpatient. You'd be really concerned about it. But you're not concerned. You're concerned with keeping it going. Because honestly, if your name is Foodie Beauty, it's in the name. Foodie Beauty. Food is your whole identity. If you took the food away, what would be left? Honestly, what would be left? I don't think you even know. I don't think you know what your real identity is, who you are. You're afraid to find out. You have the power to find out. You've got an entire ass channel where you could do anything you want, but you want to stick to the old, faithful, familiar. You know that feeders watch you when they send you money. You're scared to death of doing other kinds of content and flipping the feeders the bird and saying, hey, fuck you. I'm not killing myself for you, for your entertainment. I'm going to get myself together. I'm going to get some exercise on. I'm going to lose some weight. You're scared to get rid of those feeder people, aren't you? Those are your bread and butter. At the same time, those people are killing you. Catering to them is killing you. What a shame. You got an entire channel. You could have done anything with it. And you're just being dumb for no reason. But you just won't take your addiction off camera. You want to do it on camera and get compensated for your stupidity.
And, first, before I talk about them, which is something I should have learned a long time ago. But anyway, whatever. Better late than never. That rhymed. So, there's a train coming. Well, that was a short train. Yay. So anyways, that was on a bit of a tangent, but I'm going to go look for something for lunch there. They sell, basically St. Albert is a little town in Ontario, and they have a farm. They're basically known for this. They have a dairy farm, and the company is called St. Albert's Cheese Company, and they have a dairy farm, and they make fresh cheese every day on their dairy farm, and they have a store connected to their farm, and there they sell.
Only Chantal would take a long ass drive and make a point to stop at a farm and get cheese curds. I mean, she could drive anywhere. She could do anything. Has to be a farm. Has to be to go get cheese curds.
All their fresh cheese, particularly they're popular for their fresh cheese curds. So des grains à fromage. I don't know. It's like little curds,
Y'all seeing what I'm seeing? She's sitting here talking about freaking cheese curds. Look at this smile on her face. Just she's thinking about how they're gonna taste in her mouth and being fresh, and she just got her face had a glow to it. Girl, you are deep down in the hole, aren't you?
grains of cheese, like little bits of cheese, fresh cheese, and they're squeaky because they're so fresh. And you can add flavor seasonings to it. I've been adding barbecue. So
You can add seasonings to it. I've been adding barbecue. It sounds like you've had them before. Like this is not your first time going to this establishment.
it's really good fresh cheese. It's a big comfort food, kind of a red light.
No. It's not a comfort food for everybody. It's a comfort food for you. So again, you're talking about your struggles with BED, but yet you keep leaning into all your trigger foods. You seek them out. You're literally driving to a farm to go get freaking cheese curds. So how exactly are you struggling again?
Light for me. So, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see what they have for lunch. I'm not gonna just buy a huge bag of curds like I would do in
And yet she does. And yet she does. She does buy a bag of cheese curds.
the past and just like binge on all of them. If I do get curds, it's gonna be the
Okay, hold on. What did you say? I gotta pull that back just a little bit. Sorry.
for me. So, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see what they have for lunch. I'm not gonna just buy a huge bag of curds like I would do in the past and just like binge on all of them. If I do get curds, it's going to be the small. It is going to be the smallest bag.
You shouldn't be having a bag of cheese curds like that anyway. And Chantal, stop lying. You're wanting a pat on the back. You want a gold star. Oh, in the past, I bought the biggest bag of cheese curds and I would sit there and go to town on it. That was a really dark period in my life. And I've gotten so much better. I now buy smaller bags, several smaller bags. Aren't I good? Did I do good, teacher? Can I have a gold star? No, you can't. Because you're a diabetic and you shouldn't be having a whole bag of freaking cheese curds. They're not potato chips. You shouldn't be having potato chips either. What's the matter with you? You are the same person that you went to the emergency room for over consuming cheese. You have no gallbladder. You shouldn't be eating that shit. So you want a gold star. You want some praise. You want your butt pats. Because instead of eating a huge bag of cheese curds, you're eating a smaller bag. No gold star from me. You're still being stupid. And I don't trust you anyway, to tell the truth. What you say and what you do are two different things. Just because you say you're eating a smaller bag and that's it, don't mean that you didn't have another backup cheese curd bag on the side. You know you did. We know how you are. You have a backup sandwich, backup soda, backup coffee. Why wouldn't you have a backup bag of cheese curds?
And I'll eat a few and share with family or something like that. But their blocks of cheese are good. They have all kinds of other little things that they make there. They have a restaurant as well now. They have ice cream. They have a restaurant. And their restaurant serves different things like poutine, of course, poutine. Sometimes, one time I went there, they had like a special of the day, which was like this macaroni and like homemade pasta sauce. It was really good. So I don't know if they have that. I might get that, but we'll see what they have. I'll probably get that in a small bag of curds or something like that. When I go back to Kuwait, I won't be seeing St. Albert's cheese for a long time. So
basically, this feels like, fast food funeral 3.0. Anybody that's been around long enough, y'all remember the fast food funerals. Chantal would swear, oh, I'm stopping the eating of the fast food. So she literally would have a funeral for fast food. And she did that a couple of times. Oh, like I'm going to stop today, but today's the last day. So I'm just going to go wild eating fast food. So you mean to tell me you have the absolute nerve that in the front of this video, you were talking about your struggle with binge eating disorder. And right now, you're saying, oh, I'm going to this place and I'm going back to Kuwait. So before I go, I got to hoover up all of the favorite foods that I love to eat, all the trigger foods before I go back, because once I go back, I won't have access to them anymore. That doesn't sound like you're struggling, like you're fighting against it. You're not fighting against your problem. You're leaning into your problem. You are justifying giving in to your urges and your impulses. That's why you need impatience, Chantal. You need someone else to be the control because you don't have any. You need someone else to tell you no. You don't know how to tell that to yourself. You really don't. Everything you're saying right now, it sounds like all of this is just a fast food funeral. Before I go back to Kuwait, I got to make sure to eat all the cheese and chips and potato chips and fast food that I can get my hands on, that I can afford. I'm going to give in to all of my wants and needs. I'm going to smoke all the green that I can before I go back. I don't know if you can go back. I don't think you should go back. But I think that you still got that thought in your head of I might go back. So just in case I might go back, I'm going to eat my heart out, literally. Stop claiming to be a fighter when you're not one. You're not a fighter. You're not fighting against your problem. You're capitalizing on it. You're monetizing it. If you give it a job, you ain't fighting against shit. Hear me? You're not.
Somebody passing me. I'm going 84 in an 80 zone, so I'm not going to speed. I'm going to put my cruise control on, actually. So, I mean, I'm just really going through a lot of things while I'm here, kind of behind the scenes. I'm not sharing a lot of my private life with you guys anymore.
The reason why you're not sharing your private life is because of what's going on in your private life. You're spending time with Dee Dee and Natter. You're partying with them. They're partying with you. And I bet they're waiting for payday. Natter has probably already pre-ordered all the party favors that you want, all the powder that you want. He's already pre-ordered that stuff, waiting for your paycheck to drop, waiting for that direct deposit to hit. They're keeping you close. They don't trust you that if they leave you alone with your money, you'll go out and go crazy. You'll spend it on fast food. They want to make sure that they get as much out of you as possible before the money's gone. That's why you're not talking about it. You'll only keep your mouth shut when you're doing some shady shit in the background, or you're hanging around people, or you're doing things you're not supposed to. That's when you keep your lips closed. You know, there's so many layers of deception here. That's what's causing all the privacy. You know, like you're pretending to be something you're not. And because you're pretending to be something you're not, there's restrictions and rules when it comes to that. You're pretending to be married, even though you're really not married. You're pretending that you are not seeing Natter when you are. I mean, there's just so many layers here. There's so much So many lies. You put yourself in a corner, Chantal, but there is a way out. Tell the truth. If you tell the truth, that'll give you some freedom.
More. I'm trying to safeguard some things that I feel like safeguarding with regards to privacy. Nothing personal. I still love you guys and I still want to share a lot of my life with you guys. But things that I'm not comfortable sharing anymore, I'm just going to keep to myself, respectfully. Um, and I'm going to be keeping it positive. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I've been more positive these days. Like, I'm kind of down because of my personal problems, but it has nothing to do with you guys. It has nothing to do with online. So it's just more a case of I'm just safeguarding my privacy for certain things. That's all.
Yeah, you're hanging out with Nat or Aditi. You can't talk about that. Again, she put herself in that corner. She decided long ago to make allegations against Natter. The things that she said he did to her. She wanted to paint that picture and paint the picture of her being a victim of domestic violence, which in my opinion, she never was. I don't think she's been through that trauma. I think she's a great big old fucking liar about that. You know, the mouth ain't mathing with her. Just because you're making up a story of being a victim doesn't mean you were one. There's a lot of pieces missing from that puzzle that don't even make sense. She painted that picture, though, of Natter. He was abusive. He had the black-eyed rage. He hit me so hard I saw stars. Because of all the things she said, the picture that she chose to paint in front of everybody, the lies she told, she can't hang out with them. And she especially can't hang out with them or admit to hanging out with them while she's doing this I'm a married woman arc. So like the corner that she's in is one of her own design. It's really, really tight in that corner, isn't it, Chantal? Not much breathing room, is there? And the best part is you can't complain to anybody about being there. You put yourself there. Yes, you did. You dug that hole. You want to be a victim so bad. You dug that hole with a shovel of lies. And while you may be getting bigger, the hole is getting smaller. There ain't no room in it no more. Again, you want to get out? You want out? Tell the truth. Stop lying to people.
And I'm really trying to be positive, not get, taking any bait for drama, talking ill about others. I really don't want to ever resort.
You know what's making you shut your mouth about other people, Chantal? What's making you shut your fucking mouth is the fact that you got in trouble recently. Didn't you? You got in trouble recently. You got a strike on your channel. You were out for a week. So you're walking on thin ice with YouTube. Very thin ice. The ice is so thin that you are afraid to open your mouth about anybody. You're so scared. Miss Big Bad and Tough, scared to open her mouth. So you're taking the coward's way out. There's that mean, nasty creature inside of you that you want to go off on people. You want to rage. But you can't risk your channel. So you're going around the block about it. You got people around you that are on your payroll. People that you're friends with. They come into your chat room sending little fucking super chats. Trying to get shit started. Be the instigators. They say the shit for you. That way it looks like you didn't bring up something. They brought it up first. You don't want to stand on your business. You want somebody else to start the fire. You want to borrow their lighter and light it up. Because that's the way you've always played, Chantal. You're self-centered. You are self-absorbed. You are a true narcissist. You're always looking out for you, always looking for other people to do your dirty work, using other people as your cat's paws. You sit in the back of the chessboard, safe. You let the pawns go first. And if they take some damage, something happens to them, screw them. Who are they? They don't matter. You know better than to risk your channel. It's your only source of income. So you look for anybody and everybody who will help you in whatever way you need help, whether it's gathering information on people, doxing people, being the mouthpiece, whatever. You don't do your own dirty work. You're always on the lookout for other people to do it for you.
Or to insulting other people, or talking bad about other people. It just brings my whole vibe down. And
No, it doesn't. Why is she lying? It brings my whole vibe down. You are such a liar. You live for those moments where you are going off, Chantal. You feel the most alive when you're angry and you are raging. Come on. You feel the most alive when you get to yell and scream and let all of that inner ugly out. You feel so alive. You feel the blood pumping. Like you could just break through walls. Like the Kool-Aid man. Oh, yeah. You feel alive in those moments. I remember when you used to do those rages. Ooh, you had a fire in your eye. You were on fire, girl. But that fire went out a long time ago. I haven't seen it in a while. You are so sick and you're so unhealthy. You can't even rage right. Even if you wanted to, you run out of steam. You get started, you get out of breath. Think about that, Chantal. Think hard about that. You are so unhealthy, you can't even get properly mad. That is you. That wasn't you 4 or 5 years ago. That's you now. That's how bad things are. And you want to talk to me about, oh, I'm struggling with my BED. Shut up. You're not struggling. If you're driving to a farm to get cheese curds, you are not struggling. Not at all.
it doesn't matter what people say about me. I 100% will not let it affect me anymore. You know, like, it's fine. Some people are gonna like me, and there's a lot of people who don't, and I have to be okay with that. That's fine, you know. But part of me wanting to become a better person is how I treat others in life, and regardless of how I'm treated, I don't want to retaliate that way. I don't want to have that in my life, like, for my own peace of mind, for my own peace, for my own
Chantal, the time for talking is over. The time for talking is long over, ma'am. This is the part of the story where you put up or shut up. Action, not words. We've heard far too many words from you. Don't tell us what you're gonna do. Show us. Don't make plans out loud and dream out loud. Surprise people. Really surprise people. Just keep your mouth shut and surprise people. Say, hey guys, like, don't tell people you're going to a gym. Just show up there and do a video. That'll really shock people. Shock people by going out on surprise walks or taking care of yourself. Stop talking about shit. Nobody believes you. Your word carries no worth. There's no value to it. Do you understand that? When you sit there and you lie and you lie and you lie to people, if you are an honest person, your word and the things you say have much value. People trust you and they believe you. But if you lie, the more you get caught in lying. your word and the things you say start to lose value until you are in the red. And just like your financial situation, you are bankrupt as far as credit for your character. Your account is beyond empty. You got overdraft fees on your soul that you can't even pay because you refuse to be honest and start building up that credit. It's always in the red. Get it together.
Everything, healing, my journey, because I really think a huge part, like part of this glow up, it's going to be the glow up of the century.
I don't want to hear that either. We've heard this before too. I'm going to glow up. I'm gonna. Who is this I'm gonna? Who is this person? We have yet to meet her. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. This person I'm gonna never shows up to the party, do they? We've heard about them. We've heard about this individual, but they never seem to show up to the party. We anticipate their arrival, but they never arrive. You know why? Because I'm gonna is too busy hanging out with Mr. and Mrs. Yeah But. You know who Mr. and Mrs. Yeah But are, y'all. Do you know who they are? Mr. and Mrs. Yeah But. I was gonna do it, yeah, but I was gonna do this, yeah, but Mr. and Mrs. Yeah But. Mr. and Mrs. Yeah But are procrastinators. They are friends to anybody who's a procrastinator. So I'm gonna hangs out with Mr. and Mrs. Yeah But. And apparently Chantal likes them as her friends because they don't insist that she get up off her butt and do something and take action. When you're not ready to change your life, you look for friends like that. And when you are ready, you ditch those friends and you choose other friends. Like now, today, those become your friends. You choose the friends that aid you in whatever it is you're doing, that back it up, that reinforce it. You want to procrastinate? You want to sit on your butt? You'll put yourself in an environment and around people and sensations that will promote that. When you're ready to not procrastinate, you'll get shit done. She's never been ready. Never. She knows she's got a whole lot to do and she doesn't even want to get started.
Road. Okay, let's look at the road, more interesting than my face and glasses. So, big part of a glow up and becoming a more, becoming a better person and becoming more beautiful and glowing up is changing on the inside the things that are kind of ugly, And for me, my anger and rage and the way I handle criticism and handle insults and handle myself with other people, I didn't like that. So I'm trying to change that. So inshallah, that will go well. Now,
Chantal, the things you just mentioned, yes, they are ugly. No disagreement there, no argument. They are ugly. But you know what's even uglier than that? The fact that you are selfish, heartless, thoughtless, bitch. You are so self-absorbed, so self-centered, so lacking in empathy and compassion and feeling for others. You honestly don't care about other people. Now, some people have said about you that you are a psychopath. Hey, I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing you. I suspect that you've got some unchecked, undiagnosed, perhaps mental and emotional issues. But even if you do have those things, only a doctor would know. And even if they told you, it's up to you to treat them or not. But going back to your soul, you do not have a good soul. You do not have a good heart. There's not a single living thing that has ever been around you that can say, I was around Chantal and I was made better for it. She's a caring, warm individual. Like, she brought laughter into my life. She brought a lot of caring into my life. I was made better for knowing her. The people that were your former friends can't say that about you. Your fiance, ex-fiance Pete can't say that about you. Your family can't say that about you. Even your pets, if they had a voice, they couldn't say that about you. Anything with a heartbeat that's alive, that has a pulse, you have harmed. That's why you have to keep paying people to be around you, because you are just that awful. You have a awful soul. You are predatory. And Chantal, predators can be male or female. One is not better than the other. One is not worse than the other. But given your behavior, if you had been a man versus a woman, I think you would have been in jail by now with the way that you behaved and the things that you said. Trust and believe that. You would have been in jail by now. I just have to get into his house, going over to somebody's house and peeping in their window. Your ass would have gone to jail. You're a predator. You over there talking about a glow up? I'm going to glow up. I'm going to look better. What about your soul? What are you going to do about your soul? What are you going to do about that predator soul? How are you going to fix that? How?
Oh, yeah. So I hope you guys just enjoy the rest of the ride, I guess, because this countryside of Ontario, I really just find it so gorgeous, and it's something I never appreciated before, but it really lifts my mood. It's hard
Why am I getting vibes of the long road on this road? Why is that?
for me to feel any anxiety.
By the way, like, I'm not a Canadian. I don't live in this area. The place where she's going, is that close to where Natter lives? I mean, I don't know. I need a map. Look, I'm not cow tipping. I'm just, she's going on this long road, and I'm just wondering out loud, is she not on the long road because she knows that people know who that is associated with? So maybe she's taking a different route. I'm just thinking out loud.
When I'm in the country like this, it's just, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm sure you get the idea. And I've been going for these drives. Mind you, I know gas is very pricey here. In Canada, it's...
Yeah, about that. Thank you for bringing that up. I love how you just add to my videos, Chantal, with the things you say. Yeah, about that, Miss. I am so broke. You over there buying sandwiches the size of Texas. You over there going out to eat at restaurants and spending $20 per dish. You saying you're so broke. It's near payday. You still got a few days. Gas is expensive. Yet here you are taking these long drives for absolutely no reason. Where's this money coming from? Are your feeders paying for this?
It's insane. But, and it just went up. But it just went up again. But
I don't want to hear your shit. I really don't want to hear your shit. She's over here complaining about the price of gas. Shut up, Chantal. There are people that are hardworking that make far less than you. They have to worry about having enough gas in their car just to get back and forth to work. They got to worry about having enough groceries for the week for themselves and their families. They got to worry about paying the water bill and the light bill. They got to worry about paying their rent. Rent is coming up real fast. You over there complaining about gas prices at the same time you're taking a trip you don't have to. You're driving out to a farm for fuck all to get cheese. You could have gone to the grocery store and gotten cheese. But no, you're taking a little car trip to go to a farm to get fresh cheese curds. You know you don't need those cheese curds. You know you shouldn't have them. The nerve of you to talk about your struggles with BED at the same time you're going to drive all the way out there to go just to get cheese curds, girl. Really? Really?
That's fine. That's something I'll sacrifice because it's something that's good for my mental health. And when I go out, I usually go on little walks, even if it's just a bit that I can do at a time. It still helps me. So
You know what would help your walks, Chantal? Instead of taking like 2-minute walks, you know what would help your walks? Cut down on the food. Do some correct portions. Create a calorie deficit. Instead of eating 5,000, 6,000 calories a day, which is basically what's needed to maintain 500 pounds, eat about 2,000 calories a day. You'll start to drop that weight just doing that. No exercise. Eat some healthy food. If you eat healthy food, you will honestly not be as hungry. You're hungry because you're giving your body junk. When you give your body junk, your body looks at the junk and says, thanks for the bag of garbage, but there's nothing in it that we can use. So we're going to stimulate your hunger again to get something else. If you eat healthy food, you would not be as hungry or as often. But if you lost some of that weight, you would have more mobility. You would have better breathing. It would help your walks. You're having trouble walking. You're having trouble moving and breathing because you're carrying the equivalent of 2 or 3 of me in the front of your body. I'm not even joking. I'm 130 pounds. You are hundreds of pounds overweight. You're carrying most of it in the front of you. What you're doing is basically carrying the equivalent of 2 or 3 adults attached to your body. Think about that. Anybody out there that's you've ever moved some really heavy boxes? Like you've moved from one place to another, you got to carry heavy boxes. You pick up that big heavy box and you're like, you're doing all you can to hold on to it, and then you set it down. You feel like your arm's about to fall off. Imagine what it's like for someone like Chantal. Imagine having a big, heavy box attached to the front of your body and you can't set that sucker down. That's why her back hurts.
with my mood anyways. So I'm going to try to find, something for lunch. And I'll let you guys enjoy some of the ride to St. Albert. So let's go.
Hold on a minute. I'm curious about something. I'm looking something up really quick. There's no way. So is St. Albert St. Albert cheese. Okay, I'm confused. I'm very confused. I'm just looking to see how far it is. Cause I don't know. I don't live there. I just looked up the distance between St. Albert, Canada to Montreal, Canada. That's where Natter is, right? 2,237 miles. So unless St. Albert's is like an establishment and it's of the same name, I don't know. We'll see. Let me just keep going. I'm going to be checking out the labels of this cheese that she's talking about, see if I get some clues about where that's at. Like, this is all filler footage, Chantal. You are so cheap. Look, filler footage. Look, filler footage.
Wow, just look at all the different cheese.
Of course, she had to hit the cheese aisle. This really wasn't so much for her as it was for the feeders. She's got to emphasize in every video how much she loves food. You know, Chantal, I think they got it. I think the feeders know how much you love food. You don't have to drive the point home.
They even have pickled cheese. Pickled cheese is so salty good.
All right.
Pickled cheese?
So I checked the menu at the restaurant and nothing appealed to me. It was all like...
You know what? So she could have gone into the restaurant to eat a meal, but she didn't. I'm going to give my thoughts about that. I think she didn't want to go in the restaurant because there were people there. She doesn't like to be around people. So instead of going in the restaurant and eating, she just grabbed herself a bag of cheese curds and she's going to eat those in her car.
Burgers, poutine, and pizza, and I don't feel like eating that right now.
Wait a minute. So on the menu was poutine, and she loves poutine. That's one of her favorite things. So why not go into a restaurant and eat one of your favorite things? Because there's people there.
So I have a water. And I got a small bag of cheese curds. Everything all together was like $8 Canadian.
You know, she got several small bags, right? Because we know about her in backup food. If she gets one item, she's usually got a copy somewhere close.
So what I do is I open the cheese like that, pretty easy to open. And then I add about...
So what she's going to do is she's going to show herself putting the barbecue seasoning on the cheese curds. And she's going to eat those cheese curds like somebody else would eat barbecue potato chips. But remember, she's struggling with her binge eating disorder, right? Because if you've got BED and you're struggling against it, the thing to do is to drive out to a farm and drive out to a restaurant, a grocery store, and get some cheese curds and treat them like potato chips. That's exactly how you handle it.
Maybe half of this barbecue seasoning. This is what a cheese curd looks like on its own. Bismillah.
That moment, she just closed her eyes. She went somewhere for a second.
Squeaky. Mm.
Yeah, definitely for the feeders.
And now,
I can't imagine being someone sitting in a car eating a whole doggone bag of cheese curds. Like, why would you?
I poured the whole thing by accident.
No, you didn't.
I hope they're not too barbecue salty. Gotta mix them around well. The whey mixes with the barbecue kind of and makes like a sauce on them. The fresh whey.
You don't have to describe it to us, Chantal. Look, it's something you should not be eating, especially as someone you have no gallbladder. Stop trying to make it sound appealing. It's not.
I'm not that hungry, so.
Since when? Since when are you not hungry? This is the same woman we're talking about that she eats every 2 hours. Since when is she not hungry? I'm telling you, she's been hanging around Natter. If she's staying away from the food, if she comes on camera saying, I'm not hungry, there's a reason for that. And not because she just ate, because she just had some food. Because she's doing something to stave off that hunger.
For some reason. I'm sure
I'm not hungry for some reason. You know what the reason is, and I know it too. And a lot of other people know it too. You took something, Chantal. You took a stimulant. That's why you're not hungry.
later. I'm trying to have like a nice, healthier supper.
How is that a healthier supper? That's not even supper. You're eating a bag of cheese curds. How is that healthy? There's no real nutrition in it. It's not a balanced meal. That's basically like a snack, and it's nothing but fat. Cheese is nothing but fat. Who are you trying to kid? Like eating a bag of fat. That's what's going on here. That's all that cheese is. It's fat. It's the fat from milk. You're eating a bag of fat.
Totally delicious. In different parts of the U.S., they have a lot of cheese curds. Like Wisconsin has a lot of cheese. They sell the curds also in different grocery stores. Around here. Farm Boy. I'm looking at a playground and there's a graveyard. Look. Asking the grade 2 teacher, Mrs. Hoover, from The Simpsons, Mrs. Hoover, what does "here lies Jim Baker" mean? Oh, Ralph. I love Ralph.
You know, all I got to say is she better not come back on camera and complain about her tummy hurting later on tonight. Like she's sitting there eating a whole bag of cheese curds coated in barbecue seasoning. She better not come on camera and say, oh, my tummy hurts. I don't know why. Well, we know why. Eating a whole bag of cheese curds. That's why.
They stain your fingers, though. If you're worried about that. And this is the kind of cheese they use on poutine traditionally.
You know, and again, Chantal, before this video ends, I just want to say this. You can't sit there and swear that you're struggling with BED. At the same time, during the video where you're talking about your struggles, you make a point to go to a farm, go to a store, get a whole ass bag of cheese curds, coat them in barbecue seasoning, and eat them like potato chips. That does not look like struggling to me. That looks like you coming on YouTube and catering to the fucking feeders again. You want people to feel some kind of way and feel sympathy for you for food taking over your life, for being overwhelmed with it. At the same time, you don't want to take control of the situation. You really don't want help. You won't go to inpatient. You don't want to seek out therapy. You don't want to work out maybe whatever emotional or mental issues that might be connected with it. You want it to continue because it's your moneymaker. You are literally pimping out your addiction. You put it on the street corner and say, get to work. Make me some money, bitch. That's not what addiction is about. That's not what it's there for. You don't give it a job. You don't monetize it. You don't glorify it. You recognize it as something is wrong. It is a problem that needs to be healed, that needs to be addressed and dealt with. You don't want to, because long ago, you turned the whole addiction thing inside out and you made it profitable for yourself. But you know what? That addiction is killing you slowly. It is. Little by little, bit by bit, it's eaten up all of your health. All of it. I don't think there's anything left. And you know it. I know you know it. You look in the mirror. You can see, you can feel. You just don't give a shit. You've thrown up your hands. You're not fighting for life. You're basically just waiting for the inevitable to happen to you. And that's your choice. Nobody can stop you. But the worst part is you're making everybody watch your demise. When people watch you, they're watching a snuff film in very slow motion. It's almost morbid to see someone like yourself that you're not fighting for life. You're not interested in life. You are interested in meeting up with the Grim Reaper and having tea. It's morbid to think of somebody who is so interested on being on the other side of the grass, the side where there's no sunlight. You don't want to stay on the side where the sunlight is. You want to be underneath it. I don't know what your obsession is with that, but you do have one. Damn shame. Really, it's a damn shame. Makes me shake my head at life. How there are so many people in the world that they struggle so much and they work so hard and life is so rough on them. And then you got people like Chantal that they're so undeserving and so greedy and so evil. And life hands them a cup of fortune. And rather than recognize it's a cup of fortune, they turn it into a cup of poison. They don't recognize it for being something good they can use to their advantage to make a good life. They use that cup of fortune, turn it into a cup of poison, and hurt themselves. Well, nothing that any of us can do. Nothing at all.
Refrigerate after 24 hours, it says.
No need for that. She'll have the whole bag gone. If not during the filming of this video, after the video is shut off.
The curds are so much better on refrigerated. They lose their squeak. Anyway, I'm going to go. Just wanted to.
Yeah, she's going to go. And as soon as she turns the camera off, she's going to finish the rest of that bag. Watch. Watch. It'll happen. It will happen. All right, guys. I don't know what else Chantal's been up to, but I'm going to check it out. Hope you guys have enjoyed this react video. If you have, please like it, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.